Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you?
Hi, History of Rock peeps. Dr. H here once again. Very happy to be with you. Wanted to take a little bit of time and sort of go over the course with you, our individual course. So this vid sort of serves like the first vid that you watched, which was geared towards everybody, all the courses. This one, however, is designed specifically for History of Rock and Roll. So this is just for you guys, and I wanted to give you some tips about maneuvering and navigating around our e-learning site and our online text. So let's get right to it, and let's talk about the e-learning side. So this is sort of going back to that adage that I gave you in the first video. There are two sides to the story, right? So there's the e-learning side and there's the online textbook side. On the e-learning side, so here's what you're going to find on e-learning. You're going to find the announcements, obviously, the course calendar and schedule. You're going to find the content modules. These are the modules that sort of, if you click on it, it gives you a description of what that particular module entails, what that section of our online text entails. But understand, that's not the actual textbook, so it does not contain the assignments. You'll also find the discussion topics and the course syllabus. So things that have to do with our course with respect to documents, schedules, info, okay, announcements, all of that, you're going to find on our e-learning site. The only assignments that you're going to find on e-learning will be the discussion topics. So understand that, please. So then what do we have on our online text? Well, we have everything else. We have all the lessons, all the reading. Remember, this is an online text, so you're not going to have a paper book that you read. All the reading is going to be online. So understand that's where these things are. And then at the end of each section, there is a written assignment. This sort of takes the place of a quiz. It's just a way for you to demonstrate that you've read the chapters or read the lessons, you've done any listening that's required of you, and you are able to present that in some type of written format, and your thought process is in a written format. So you'll see how to submit all of that when we go over our online text, okay? So don't panic, don't worry, all will be well. The exams are also found on your online text. That's the midterm and the final exam. So all of that will be on the midterm, or excuse me, on the online text. Now, what about grading? Okay, well, let's talk about grading for a second. So when it comes down to grading, viewing your grades, you've got two sources. You'll have a grade on your online text that you can view at any time. And then you will also have a grade on e-learning that you can view at any time. Your online text grade is sort of like a real-time grade. So every time you complete an assignment, that is added to your score, which adds to your grade. However, be cautioned, that is not your final grade. That is not your, not a reflection of your overall total grade, okay? Understand how I work. As a professor, I do not grade on correctness, exactness, grammar, punctuation, correct facts, dates, things like that alone. Okay, I do use those things, of course, but I grade on participation and effort as much as I do everything else. So it's important to me that you are participating. So you're in the online discussions, you are doing the readings, you're doing the assignments, you're posting those written assignments to me on a regular basis. That, in my mind, is your participation. And I should mention that also counts for your attendance in this course. Remember, we're not meeting on a regular basis as a group. We're not doing a Zoom meeting, anything like that. We are asynchronous, as it were. So this counts as your attendance when you do these assignments, when you participate in the discussion topics. And I know every time you log on, I'm alerted to that fact. I know every time you turn in an assignment, I'm alerted to that fact as well. So please understand that that's how I grade. So like you could totally bomb an assignment, but you've done it. You've tried your best. If I see that, you've got an A. You've got the credit, okay? I have a motto in just about every course that I teach, and that is you don't have to do the assignments 100% correctly in order to get credit. You just have to do them. So just do the assignments. Just do the work that's being asked of you to do, and you're going to be fine. It's when you don't do assignments, when you let things go, when you don't participate in the online discussion topics, or like I said, when you let assignments go. I have no recourse then. I don't have any way of assessing what you're doing. So you do the work, you do the assignments, you're going to be fine. You're going to be golden. If I see you struggling, of course, I will contact you and we'll work something out as far as, if you need extra credit or if you need some additional help in some area. Absolutely, I will work with you while I can. But it is not important to me that you are turning in A work all the time, every single time. Yeah, it's great if you do, absolutely. It's wonderful, but that's not everything that I look at. I look at your participation overall. So hopefully I've made that clear. Okay, so now let's turn to e-learning and take a look at what's in store for us there. I know many of you have already seen it. You've already, experienced it. That's fine. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are high school students, Freeland High School, I believe it is, welcome. It's nice to have you with me. This is a college course, so things are going to be run just a little bit different probably than what you're used to, but we'll get through it. Always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. But for now, let's go take a look at that e-learning site and sort of walk through it a little bit. And then after that, we'll take a look at our online text, okay? So look forward to working with each of you, and here we go. Okay, so here we are, guys. I'm down here in the corner. Hey. When you first sign on to your e-learning site, our e-learning page at Delta, you're going to come to a page similar to this. Yours may look a little bit differently, but any course that you're enrolled in at Delta will appear here. So you can see here I have some courses to choose from. These are all courses that I teach. So obviously yours isn't going to look the same, but were this you would just simply click on our course, which is History of Rock and Roll. And this is what you would see. You would see our homepage for our course. And any announcements would, you're going to see right here. You're going to see a little brief description of yours truly. Okay, fine, whatever. But what I want you to get from this, announcements obviously are going to be here on the left side of the page. And, from time to time I will post announcements of course updates, material updates, whatever. You'll find it there. But I also send out emails to everybody whenever I post an announcement. Whenever there's any kind of change, I go ahead and shoot you an email. But what I really wanted you to see here, in addition to the announcements, is down here in the lower right hand corner, you can see that there is a calendar, and that this calendar shows you when things are due. Let me say that again. This shows you when things are due. Understand too that you have a range of dates for these, so don't wait until the last minute to get stuff done. Don't just assume that because something is due on January 31st that you can wait until January 30th to start it, and you'll see why in just a moment. So go up to the top of the page. You can see these tabs: Course Home, which is where we are, Content, Grades, Activities, Communication, and Help Desk. So if you click on the Content tab, you're going to come to this portion of our course on e-learning, and you're going to see on the left all of the modules. There will be other modules added the further along that we go. Right now there's just the 2 modules that we have added, but the course syllabus, obviously if you click on that you can open up the syllabi and take a look at what's in it. It has some info in there. Many of you I'm sure have probably already seen the syllabi, so I'm just going to plug this right now. The required material is the online text. You got to have that online text, and in order to get that, you got to purchase that access code. So, a couple of you have had some issues with purchasing that textbook access code. I understand many of you now are those that have had trouble. You finally got it. So I did exchange. Boy, sorry, Dr. H can't talk right now. I did extend the deadline for registration, so please understand you can now register that access code, but you only have until this Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so get that done, please. That way you can have access to the online text. All right, once again, let me reiterate, when you click on one of these modules, like for example, section 1, it gives you a description of section 1. This is not section 1. This is not your textbook. This is just telling you what it is. Same thing with section 2. But what I want you to notice here is the date range, okay? So section 1 opened on January 11th and it is due January 31st. So that is telling you that you have that amount of time to get those lessons and assignments done. I think there's only one written assignment per each section, but you do have quite a bit of time on these sections. So please budget your time well. Don't wait until the last minute to get something done. The next section, section 2, starts on January 24th, and in order for that to be utilized, that was yesterday. So you've got until February 21st to get that finished. So please get on these right away. Don't let it go till the last minute. Okay, so if we go up to activities, we want the discussions. And so we come to the discussion topics. This is the one that the majority of you have already done. If you have not chimed in yet, you have until the 31st. So once again, you must give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself, and then you need to post 2 responses to 2 classmates, or not 2 responses, I'm sorry, a response to 1 response to 2 of your classmates. Or if you want, you can respond to a classmate and you can respond to me. Either that works as well. Okay, but you do tell us a little bit about yourself, and then there'll be another discussion topic coming up. And when that one opens, you'll be notified, and you'll have instructions as to how to do that. So please take the time to do these discussion topics. As I said earlier, this is your attendance, and yes, this counts towards your grade. Everything counts towards your grade. Okay, so that is pretty much all there is on e-learning. Once your grades are up and formatted, you'll be able to view your grade here, and you'll also again be able to view your grade on our online text. So let's take a look at that online text now. Okay, so you come to this page when you type in the c4elink.org. If you've registered your textbook access code, you should have probably already done this, but just for those of you who haven't, this is what you're going to see once you go to log in and you type in your username and you type in your password, and bingo, you come in, except when you put in the wrong password. That happens. So once you are logged in, you will come to this page, which is just kind of the home page for all of the C4eLink site. Unless you're taking more than 1 course with me and using the online textbook, you're probably only going to have one of these links, and of course the one for this course would be MUS 119. So that's right down here. So we'll go ahead and click on that. So it might take a little bit to come up to the course homepage here on our online text. I don't know why their servers sort of tend to run a little slowly, but let's explore a little bit about the resources that you have available to you on the online text. I would encourage you, if you have not already done so, to go ahead and look at the Getting Started materials. You have the course preamble, the course description guide, and the lecture guide. And I encourage you to look at all of these. They do contain very useful information by way of, sometimes it's by way of videography, sometimes it's just simply looking at various components of whatever they have here. But I wanted to point out right away, you have some things here that you can use right away, like these little orange circles with arrows in them. Obviously, these are directional arrows, so it's like turning a page. When you click on one, it takes you to the next page, and so forth. So you can download this lecture guide. It's entirely up to you, but I would encourage you to look at it. One more thing you might want to notice is the ability to make things bigger, smaller by utilizing this feature here. But this is just showing you what you have available to you. And I might point out this Discover Music tool. This enables you to listen to musical examples, and we'll see more about that when we go on. There's also some videography that you can take a look at. But there you go. That's how this looks, and I would encourage you again to avail yourself to every aspect that's made available to you. And you can see that little spinny circle up there. That's going to take us some time to get to where we're going, but there we go, finally. Okay, so let's just skip over that for now and look at lesson 1. You have an introduction, Broadway and ragtime, and so forth. This is taking us obviously through history to get us to the point at where we call rock and roll, and we're going to have an interesting discussion topic on the origin of that term. But just take a look at what you have available. Again, you're looking at things, reading about history. This is pre-rock and roll stuff, but this material here is all required reading. So you need to read all of this because you're going to be asked specific questions to write on regarding the material that you've covered. Ragtime, popular song, and the roots, the jazz roots of rock. So to get to these things, you're going to want to be able to navigate around the textbook, and that's where these little arrows come in very handy. It'll take you from page to page to page. So there you go. I hope that this is certainly something that will inspire you and enable you to go forward rather quickly and efficiently. I spoke a minute ago about listening examples that you're going to have. Well, here's one of them. You can see here that it's highlighted in red, and you see the little music notes here out to the side. If you click on that, you have the ability to bring this up in Spotify, or if you have another music feature, it might be able to give that to you in your own, like Napster, or if you have Apple Music, iTunes, it might come up in that. But Spotify is the primary engine that they use. Essentially, what this will enable you to do will be to listen to the song. If you have that service, and if you have something that doesn't allow you to sign up, or like if it's an expense that you don't want to incur, email me and I will gladly work with you on that. But that's just one example where they send you to a link to listen, potential listening if you just want to hear an example of some of these things. There are others, and again, you can listen to them if you want to subscribe. Spotify is a great service. I can highly recommend it if you don't already have it. But what you might want to do if you have it is to go ahead and sign in so that you don't have to go through that process of do you want to sign up for free, that type of thing. Okay, so as you can tell, that was a fairly short chapter, but then continuing on, you have a little quiz here, and you can attempt to take that quiz. So we're just going to take a look at it really quickly here with you. Just a true or false question. It's asking you, vaudeville refers to a music publishing district in New York City. So we're going to answer true, and let's see what it says. And once you put something in, you'll notice that if you answer false or answer incorrectly, it tells you it tells you that you're wrong. So you could go back again and take the quiz. I'm not sure the number of times, and even if you can't, don't worry about it. Remember what I said earlier, that I don't grade on test scores alone. By the way, vaudeville was not a publishing district in Manhattan. Tin Pan Alley is what they're referring to. Vaudeville is actually a style of comedy show, of theatrics. It involved all sorts of types of entertainment in the theater, from singing and dancing to to crazy acts, to acrobatics, all kinds of things. It was all considered to be vaudeville or vaudeville. Sometimes it's referred to as vaudeville or vaudeville. Okay, so there you have your online text. Anytime you want to go back to the beginning, all you have to do is click on the dashboard link here, and that will take you back to your to the opening pages of the textbook, and you can view any of the lessons or assignments there. You can click on any of them, although I don't recommend looking at these things out of sequence. I would encourage you to try to stay in sequence as much as possible. It's on this column over here, it's showing you instructor announcements, course information, that type of thing. Folks, I never use this stuff on the online text because we do take care of all that stuff on e-learning. So, but you might also look where there are discussions up here. We're not using their discussions, we're using our discussion topics on e-learning. So if you have any issues with the online text or the e-learning site, you should email me as soon as possible so that we can take care of those things right away. But I wanted you to take a look here that after lesson 6, you have a written assignment. So let's click on that written assignment for just to take a look at it for a second, what's involved. This is where you're going to be watching some things and listening to some things. And so if we click on this Walking Blues, now you don't want me, babe, what I want you. Gonna make you bad, good Lord. Sun go down. So I just wanted to give you an example that there are some things that you're going to need to listen to identify with. And note the assignment instructions. The blues had a profound impact on early rock and roll. From the list below, choose one of the 3 pairs of songs. Get that. One of the 3 pairs of songs that include 1 blues and 1 early rock and roll song each. Your task is to identify, list, and describe in as much detail as possible 2 musical elements. For the examples, it's instrumentation, form, subject of the lyrics, or vocal delivery style that the 2 songs in each pair have in common, and 2 elements where they differ. So the only way to get to that point, though, is for you to read the materials that come up front. Okay? So I hope this has been a clarification for you and helped you to see what you're getting yourself into. I will be producing these videos periodically for your assistance. And again, as always, if you have any questions or anything that you need clarification on, always feel free to shoot me an email. Okay, folks, have a great week. I look forward to hearing from you, and this next discussion topic should be quite the topic for all of us to sort of chime in on and take a look at. So take care, folks, and I'll see you soon.
I'm a sentimental sap, that's all. What's the use of trying not to fall? I have no